5 years have passed since the Red Feast, when the king's death was made public. Rob the Builder claimed the throne for himself and was officially crowned king soon after. Sam Mers, the former mayor of Canyon Brook, and the Order of the Hooded Ones have gone underground. There is still brittle peace between the Crown and the North. The latter is only slowly recovering. Rabbit, leader of the rebellion, remains a central figure in the North. Thanks to his skill, Nate Welton, a former assistant of yours, made it to Guildmaster in no time and has since become one of the king's most influential advisors. Chris Chart, Bishop of Longdale, is still in possession of the old book, which he has finally read. He too is convinced the Ice Giants will return within the next couple of years, which would mark the end of the Shattered State. He convinces the king to send an expedition to the new harbor in Canyon Brook, and from there, over the sea to the island of the Ice Giants, in hopes of averting the threat with diplomacy or even warfare. If it comes to that, Nate Welton, the king's hand, will accompany you on your journey. You have been summoned by Enoch Bruback, the king's quartermaster. He says, if we want our expedition to succeed, we need to produce large amounts of daily rations to sustain our troops. We count on your support. Alright, here we are, set up for the solo game of Expedition in Newdale. The big differences are the event deck is stacked differently with different cards. I have a different game end card with a couple of different requirements, and I will not compare military strength. So I will go through how to play really quick, then I'll let you know what the main objective is, and then we will go from there. So we are going to start by flipping over an event card. The event card is going to show a certain number of assistants on the side and a possible thing that's going to trigger now, at the end of the round, various things. It'll kind of give us an idea of when that happens. After that, I'm going to put out my action discs where I want to put them. I can put them on any of these on this board or to produce on my player board here. This top one is I can spend 7 coins to take my number 3 or 13 coins to take my number 4 and get 3 victory points. With the victory points, when I cross these thresholds right here, we'll see this little 2-card thing. I'm going to draw 2 cards from the deck. This next one is I can discard 2 cards, put 4 coal on my coal mine, and then 1 other good on one of the buildings that can produce goods. This next spot is I can discard cards from my hand until I only have 1 card left, replenish my hand, and then whether I do this top one or not, I will draw 3 cards. This bottom one is I can spend 4 money to get rid of one of my action discs and get 2 victory points or restriction discs. I'll explain those here when I explain this next action, which is to build. When you build, you are going to choose a card from your hand. The card is going to show a coin value, and that's how much you need to spend, and then a possible discount if that symbol is present where you are going to build your building. To pay the coins, you're going to be spending goods on cards. The value of the good is denoted on the bottom when it shows you what the good is. So my coal mine produces coal, so each one of these is worth 1 coin. When I choose to build, I'm going to take one of my buildings. I'm going to look 1 to 2 steps initially. If I unlock this one, I can then go to up to 3 steps away. When I choose where I'm going to build, I'm going to see if that symbol is present on the card. So for instance, this sawmill is looking for the water symbol. This watchtower is looking for this column, water, and then you have fields, and then there are mountain symbols. I will then put this out there. I will put the building, depending on what it is, somewhere on my board. If it produces, it's going to go in any of my available 7 slots. If it's the watchtower, it's going to kind of go off to the side. Same thing with the post office. If it's got a number little 6 icon, you'll see those throughout the game. Those are going to come to the end of my board. But either way, whenever you build a building, you put a building on the map. If there's a victory point showing, you get those immediately. If you, at the beginning of the game, go only 1 space from your starting city, we start in Longdale, you can choose to get the bonus tile. That is inside the smaller circle. So in this instance right here, this one. If I went here, I could grab this one or this one. If I unlock this tile, I can then grab the bonus tile if I go 1 to 2 away. If I move 3, I don't get it. If I don't unlock that, I move 2, I don't get it. The bonus tiles do a wide variety of things. This one wants you to do 3 planks, and you're going to get victory points. 4 ore, 3 clay. This is going to give a 4 coin discount when you do this action, a 4 coin discount when you do the build action. Planks for victory points. This will give you a coal per green worker and a victory point. That is the build. The other place you can put it is down here to produce. To produce, you are going to choose either, in this instance, a -1 worker, a +1, or a +2. They vary as you go around your board. What's going to happen then is after I place these out, I'm going to draw 4 assistants from this bag randomly and put them out by those assistants, and that's how many assistants I have for that round. I am then going to grab my discs back numerically, so I'll start with 1, do the action, and then 2, and so forth. If I unlock 3 and 4, I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. When you check to see if something produces, you're going to see how many assistants you needed. The coal mine needs 2 yellow, 1 red. So as long as I have 2 yellow, 1 red there, I will then see how I wanted it produced. If it's -1, then I need 1 less of one of the workers. +1, I need an extra 1, +2, an extra 2. As long as I satisfy all those conditions, I produce however many goods of where my disc was. In this instance, I would grab 3 and put them on there. Now, whether I'm able to produce via this way or not, almost all buildings have this chaining action. This one is looking for cards that have this symbol on it. I then have the option to discard these cards as many as I want. Each one I discard produces 1 good. And then if I do the chaining action, I always produce 1 additional good, no matter how many cards or other chaining abilities I want. For some want, like this bakery, it wants this little wheat stuff and coal to make bread. If I get one of those out, I'll show you those more in depth probably. After I do those, I then have the option to do 1 build outside of this action. So I don't need an action cube to do the build. If I do not do the build, I get 2 cards. I will also mention for production, if I am not able to produce anything through the assistants and I do not do any chaining bonus, I will instead draw 1 card. So again, that, and then if you have any 6s at the end, you will do what they say. It might be produce goods, it might be turn goods in for victory points. I'm going to go through this for 7 rounds. There are 7 event cards. When the last event card comes up, it'll tell me it's the game end. I will play that round as normal. I will then be able to trigger all chaining production on my buildings without using action discs. However, I do not get that bonus 1 cube in that final chaining. After that, I am going to go to end game scoring. So in this instance, at game end, I want to discard 1 or more of the following goods with a total value of at least 30 coins. That's the corn, bread, or meat needs to equal up to 30, and I must also have 38 victory points and 2 fists. So I forgot to get up, but here is the final scoring card. So I'm not going to do this top one because I do not compare military strength. I'll then look at the main objective, make sure I can do that. Every 5 coins worth of goods I have left on my board is going to be a point. I have a secret objective that you'll see here. I'm going to get 2 points for every town that has one of my houses that has this little circle symbol on it, or these little rock monolith things. And then we'll also get points based on buildings. Like this bakery is worth 4 points, 2 points, etc. So at the end of the game, I need to have 2 military strength out, which you'll see on the watchtower there. And I will also need to have 38 points in order to accomplish my task, which is on here. I will then be able to read this epilogue as long as I've completed the main objective. Alrighty. All that being said, I think we're going to play the first round. I'll fast forward through the others, and then you will join me for the final round. The last part of setup was I got 8 cards and kept 5. So we're going to flip over our first card. Our first card is Journeyman. So in phase 3, I'm going to draw 6 figures instead of the 4. And you'll see it comes with 1 of each figure. So I will now go about and do my business of trying to maneuver stuff around on the board. I already have a rough idea of what I want to do. So we are going to go there. We are going to go there. Alright, we are now going to draw 6 instead of 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there's that one, that one. We got plenty of green, like so. And then a blue. So now we are in a phase 4. In phase 4, we're going to trigger these. So I have the 2 yellow, I have the 1 red. I need 1 additional red, which I have. So I'm going to produce 3 goods, 1, 2, and 3. And then I can choose if I want to discard anything. And I believe I do. I'm going to discard this extra small watchtower because I'm not going to necessarily get that out soon, and I'd rather get the couple of goods for it, so I have spending money. We then are going, so that was number 1. Our number 2 is we are going to spend 1, 2, 3, and 4. We are going to get rid of this movement tile. I never mentioned this bottom one. That bottom one is if I ever don't have enough workers, I can discard 3 cards from my hand. If I remove this one, it only costs me 2 cards. But that also gives me 2 victory points, which triggers this to allow me to draw 2 cards. Alrighty, and that is all of that. Now we go into my optional ability to build. So we have a couple options here that I want to do. I want to get this sawmill out. That's got the water, and I want to get the watchtower out. A, because of the fist, and B, it gives me a couple more cards, and cards are very helpful. So there's a couple of spots I can go. If I do choose to do the sawmill, I can come up here, get my banner, get a victory point, and start working there, but there's no bonus tile here. I can also move to here and do this one. Again, it's got the circle. Plus, it gives me that bonus tile, which could help me get some coal, especially right now. It helped me get 4. So I think that is what we are going to do. We are going to build the sawmill. And I think we're going to put the sawmill, we'll just go right there. The building's going to come out here because there's the water showing. That only cost me 5 coins, 2, 4, and 5. I'm going to grab this bonus tile. I'm not going to turn it in yet because if you look here, you'll see green is the second most abundant in the bag, so I'll probably get something close to there soon. And that will be it for building. I got that out, put out my house, grabbed my tile, and done. I have nothing for 6, so we move on to the next round, which is clearing these up. Dropping those in, and then we draw another event card. So I'll draw that event card so you can see what that is, and then we will move on to the expedited plane. So this one is blueprints. Place 6 buildings face up in the display. When building, you can build a card from the display instead of your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we'll move our final scoring card down here. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So these are now available to me, as well as any cards that are in my hand. So I'm going to continue on to 2, and I'll see you in that final round. Alright, here we are going into that final round. I just messed up on that last round. For some reason I was focusing on getting this bakery out even though I got one. So I really should have came up here to get that extra piece instead of producing on that bakery. But you live, you learn. So I got this extra guy from one of those event cards. That basically let me take an assistant and set him off to the side to be used in a later round as one of those. Alrighty, so we get to the final one. So just so you know, this final round card is going to be the same in all of the games. So you're going to get one of each assistant. You're going to be drawing 6 figures instead of 4. And then it just goes with the whole end of game stuff. Alright, so I have a handful of cards. We get to lay out our 3 blocks. I usually like to unlock the 4th one. That's why I have that one. I may still do it for those points. See if there's anything I want to build. Maybe this Cooper's Workshop so I can turn all of my planks into something. And that's only 8 points. So where else can I get points? So that's going to be 9 coins for 3. That's 4 coins for 2. So I have 5, 7, 9. I do have it because of that one. So we're going to unlock that one first. And then I might want to get a whole new hand of cards. So I might go there. But so I have plenty of coal, but I need to get some flour for my bakery. So we're going to go... We're going to do the cards, and we're going to go there because I'm hopefully going to discard a lot of this and then get some wheat to be able to do there so I can combine those at the end to be able to pay my 30. Alrighty, so let's draw our 6 from the bag. Let me just make sure I don't want to adjust anything. So I know I have that. So right now I'm at 1 and 2. I really don't want to push it though because I want to make sure I get it produced. So 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, and 6. So we have our yellow workers. We have our green workers. We have our 1 solo blue. So I will return this red one now. So it is a good thing I didn't go there because I would not have had that extra 2 workers. I would have had to discard some cards from my hand. Alright, so first we are going to spend our... I'm not going to produce a ton here that I know of, so we're going to go 5, 9 to get our number 4, but that also gives us 1, 2, 3 points, which lets us draw 2 cards. Still didn't get any wheat cards. So now with that 1, we are going to keep one of our rocks and discard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, so we draw 9, 6 for the discard, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Wheat. I got 1 wheat. That's not overly helpful, but I have some other stuff, so we'll see how that goes. Yep, there we go. Was there anything over here I can build that would be helpful? I did say I want to do that one Cooper's Workshop, which, hey, I still got one. Cool. So those are the cards we care about. There we go. So that was 2. 3, we were able to produce the 2 on here. And then we are going to discard the bakery to produce the 2 more with the chaining. And there's that. So now I can build. If I want to, which I do, I want to do this Cooper's Workshop, which is 7. So I have 4 cards I know I can spend there to push those up to my 4 there. So I can spend these 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I got a couple of cards for that. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and 7. To build that Cooper's Workshop, we'll just put that up here. Because it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to be able to produce on it. We produce on our corn, like so. So that is the end of the round. Now I can use all of my production chains. So this is where we can go 1, 2, 3 here to go into the sawmill. 1, 2, 3, 4 more into the coal mine. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't have anything I can do with this card, so we'll set that aside. So now here's where I'll take 4 from the flour mill, 4 from the coal mine, and only 4 of them go on here. The other 4 go away. So now I have 5 on there, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I do have my 30 that I'll be able to pay there. These will kick over to our Cooper's workshop, like so. And I'm pretty sure that is all that I can do for that final one. Alrighty, so final scoring. We don't compare military strength. Our main objective is this. We need to discard 30 between corn and bread. And meat, but I don't have any meat. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, and 30. Oh, I just realized I never put out a building for my Cooper's workshop at the end. Probably look at something that's going to give me points. So I can get to this one. That gives me the 2 points. There we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So where were we? We did the 30 at game end. So I have the 2 fists. So I need to try and get the 38 victory points. So we get 1 point per 5 coins. So this is 3, 6, 9, 10, 15. 1, 2, 3 victory points. Our secret objective. So we are on 1, 2, 3 of those. I did not get to any of the monoliths, so that is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now building points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 is 9. Puts me at 35. And that is it, because I never got any clay to do that. So, unfortunately, I did not get it. I missed it by 3 points. So I will probably play this again off camera, try and get to that score so we can move on to game 2. So if you go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell, you will be alerted to when game 2 does come up. And even though I did not accomplish it, stick around for the epilogue read after the video is done. So until next time, get on that road. You receive a message from Rabbit, the Grand Dame of the North. You produce for the troops and the people must starve? Think about that. We need to talk. I'll visit you shortly.